Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy, Boulanger. And up next on the GM, we're going to be dealing with the Baltimore Ravens defense and what went wrong on Sunday. Do me a quick favor as we get started. Hit like if it is your first time checking out the GM. Hit subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's talk about it. The Baltimore Ravens defense kind of fell apart yesterday after starting off real hot. Why? Well, I think that there's a few reasons why, but I think the first reason and probably the most impactful reason was linked to our offense's inability to sustain drives. When we think about a defense and what our defense has been, we've been above average to great all year long. We've had a couple of step backs, but we've been above average to great all year. But yesterday we were poor basically from the second quarter on. Well, why? Well, I think that the offense allowed us or put us in position defensively to stay on the field. When you pull halftime stats, and I don't have them memorized or anything like that, but the Cleveland Browns had outgained us, not by a whole lot, but they had outgained us. They had at least 12 more plays offensively than we had, and they had dominated in the time of possession. Yes, the scoreboard said 17-9, but the wear and tear of being on the field as much as we had defensively made that game much closer, which we see ended up that way at the very end. You see, after Cal Hamilton picked sixth Deshaun Watson, at the half, offense versus offense was just 10-9, 10 Ravens, 9 Cleveland Browns. But where they had a real advantage is time of possession and the number of plays that they had ran against our defense. And because we had spent so much time on the field in the first half, we really had nothing left in the second half. You see, because the Ravens did come out and score and move the game to 24-9, up 15. And on paper, you know, you believe that that should be enough, that the Baltimore Ravens should be able to, sustain a two touchdown lead and get this game home. But the truth of it is this: after that touchdown to OBJ, we didn't do nothing offensively in that second half. Not really. We hit a couple of plays, but made way more mistakes than we made plays, which again put the defense on the field time after time after time. So I think that's the number one thing. You cannot expect this defense to be excellent when they're on the field um, twice as long as the other team. You can't expect that. And the other part is the Cleveland Browns were playing a physical game. It'd be different if they were on the field playing against the pass, which is not always as physical. But when you're playing a hard nosed uh, run game and you're having to collide and pound each other play after play after play, that has the advantage to the offense, and that's what we saw yesterday. Now I know you guys may be thinking, well, they should be in better shape and they should be able to sustain. They should be able to, but these are people, and the human element came into play on Sunday, especially when it comes to our defense. Okay, that's why you saw guys make contact with Njoku and bounce off, not wrapping up. That's why you saw guys make contact with Ford and bounce off, not wrapping up. Why? No, they don't have the energy to do so. See, when you get tired physically, that then begins to impact you mentally. So things you normally would do when you high energy, when you're enthused, you no longer want to do when you're worn down. So that's number one. Number two, I think that the Baltimore Ravens scheme was off. I think that Mike McDonald should have known that the Ravens defense has consistently had trouble with a quarterback who is mobile, a quarterback who can use his feet to get out of harm's way. And they should have had a spy on Deshaun Watson because that's a part of his game anyway. Well, we didn't spy him. And so time after time after time, when the pocket is collapsing, he just escape, extend the play, throw the ball down the field, or take off running with his legs. And if nothing else, throw the ball away. And not take the sack. And so that's what we saw yesterday. And that even wears out a defense as well, because when you think you're going to bring him down in a 4 to 5 second play, and the next thing you know is 7, 8 seconds, you're having to chase this guy around, that wears down the defense. So I thought that not spying Deshaun Watson was a bad idea. And then the ability to get home didn't really happen yesterday. Jadeveon Clowney and Calvin Noy and Odafe Owe, they were around the quarterback and they put hands on him a lot, but they didn't bring him down. And that's defensive performance. But I also think that plays a part in, a lack of energy, which then impacts performance for sure. I think another thing is you saw bad decisions when it came to Marcus Williams and Rock Ya-Sin. You saw a couple of times, when I say a couple, I don't mean two. I mean a number of times where you saw Marcus Williams, Cal Hamilton, and Geno Stone on the field at the same time. Marcus Williams, since he's come back from injury, has not performed well, but that's just primarily because he's playing with one arm. You're not as fast when you can't pump your arms and move sideline to sideline. When you can't use the full range you're used to having. When you can't wrap up, and they continue every time he gets off the injury report, they put him back in there, and it's very, very clear that he's not ready. You don't even have the same balance when you're playing with only one arm. But they keep trying to stick Marcus Williams in there, and he is not ready. He is a liability. And I think part of that is just simply because they pay him so much money, so they're trying to justify the contract. Geno Stone has been more than good enough to just fill in that spot until Marcus Williams is ready, if he is even ready this year. But they keep sticking him out there, and it keep costing the Baltimore Ravens. Rock Ya-Sin is a guy who had some healthy scratches over the last month, which I think may have been a mistake, only because you never know when a guy's going down. And when you are thin in some aspects at cornerback depth, you need your cornerbacks active and getting in some run in a game, so that if they are called upon for a full-time effort, he's ready. Okay. The other question is, where was Ronald Darby yesterday? I don't know if he played, but I also don't know if I even heard, and if he did, I didn't hear his name called at all. See, so we see some personnel groupings and decisions that don't make sense. Where was Arthur Millette? Heard his name called 2 or 3 times, but Arthur Millette wasn't on the field when they was trying to run that three safety look with Stone, Williams, and Kyle Hamilton. Arthur Millette has been a great blitzer, and he's been solid in slot coverage. But we keep making those silly decisions to trot guys out there who are not ready, who have not had appropriate reps and things like that. And when we make those silly decisions, this is what we get defensively. And so here we are at 7-3, still a good record. But now there should be a sense of urgency, because if we don't handle our business on Thursday at home, that will be our what, third home loss, I believe. We lost to the Colts at home. We lost yesterday at home, and if we lose to the Bengals, that'll be our third home loss. That ain't no home field advantage. And if and a loss to the Bengals could be devastating. And so I think that on a quick turnaround defensively, looking forward to Thursday, A few things is we need to bring in some fresh bodies. We need to get Ronald Darby ready to play and Rock Ya ready to play because one of them has to be a third cornerback for the outside. We need to get Geno Stone ready to play full time on Thursday and not Marcus Williams. I'm sorry, I like Marcus as a player, but he's done more damage to the secondary when he's in than good. We need to make sure that we get a nice rotation up front. I know that Travis Jones went down, so I don't know what his status is going to be. So hopefully he's ready to go on Thursday. If not, we need to pull some guys in from the practice squad, some fresh bodies, because the Bengals played a game that went down to the wire. We played a game that went down to the wire. So we're both going to be trying to figure it out. And so we have to be able to hit reset real quickly and be ready to go defensively. I guess one of the benefits defensively going into Thursday is that Joe Burrow is not a oh gosh, how to say it? He's not a mobile guy, meaning he was more likely to stay in the pocket and try to make the plays and escape. Now he can escape for sure. So I'm not saying he's not mobile in the context of he's just going to run with the ball, but he can move his feet, he can get out of harm's way, that kind of thing. So I think we could have an advantage that in that aspect. We could have an advantage if Metabuke can keep pushing the pocket. We can have an advantage if Michael Pierce can push the pocket. We can have an advantage if these pass rushers can collapse the pocket. But I think we're going to have a nice rotation, especially with veterans like Cal Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney. Having played a lot this past Sunday, we're going to have some fresh bodies to get into that rotation. And I think the first thing is take care of the run. And so I think that we have to, flush this as quickly as possible. I don't think we have a choice. We got to get our mindset right. Roquan and Pat Queen have to get back to playing downhill. And I know you can't play downhill if you're worn down, and you can't play downhill if the defensive line is getting bullied. And so I think that's what happened defensively yesterday. I think that's what caused the lack of performance on Sunday. You know, First it was the offense not sustaining drives, keeping the defense on the field, putting them in bad position. I think it was poor scheme. I think it was poor personnel grouping. And then I think it was at the end of it all, poor execution. So listen, let me know what you guys want me to know, what you guys think about the defense. I'm Jigal Boulanger. This is the GM, and we're out.